Hey guys, it's Joshua. I know I haven't uploaded in a good 2 or 3 weeks for Blaine County Department of Safety roleplay, and there's a few reasons for that. The first and biggest reason is that, well, I have a full-time job, and when I did have time to play video games, if I tried to record, it would bring me to my second problem, and that is the fail RP. And the fail RP for a server that promotes itself for being legit 24/7 is rampant. The fail RP is just there constantly, and the remaining members of Blaine County DPS are too immature to settle it professionally. They'll just straight up scream at each other at this point. My third is that the higher ups, such as the owner, the heads of some departments and all that, they either were too lenient or too strict on the rules, and by that I mean specifically more the owner of the server. He was always lenient. One of the biggest server rules: don't tell each other to kill themselves, and well, people did that every day. Multiple members, higher ups, would tell each other to kill themselves, and I don't have a problem with it. I'm edgy as fuck. I'm gonna go ahead and say that right now. I could give one fuck if someone told me to kill myself or if someone said it to someone else. But it was a server rule. I followed it. I tried to enforce it for the most part. I'd be like, hey, don't say that. You know, it's against server rules, blah, blah, blah. But Mike would never, he would give him a slap on the wrist for that rule, which was considered to be one of the biggest server rules and the biggest server rule to be, broken, besides the rampant and ridiculous fail RP that would occur. The third one is that, or third or fourth, I don't even know which point I'm on anymore. The head of the medvac, so like Lifelight or Air Medical, whatever the fuck he wants to call himself now, was also the head of the FAA. Some dumb bullshit for a 5M server who could barely have 10 members on because they got unlisted thanks to 5M fucking everyone over. It's a ridiculous department to have. It was unnecessary. It made it quote-unquote more legit. Yeah, that I understand, but really, whenever you have like 5 people on and most of them are civs and one's a cop, you don't need an FAA agent just sitting at the airfield bitching and moaning about whether a cop's running radar behind the airfield sign or not. Because really, they could use, you know, because he's trained to be an LEO, a law enforcement officer, and he just, quite frankly, would dick around with, like, saying, oh, you're on. He went as far, because I was running radar behind the airfield sign in the bush. I'm pretty sure I've done it in videos before, where there were no problems with this guy. He didn't address it or anything. He just went on about his day, which was random that it came up once, and it blew up to the proportion that it did. I was hiding behind the sign, running radar for Panorama, across Cholla Springs next to the self-serve gas station, and he rolls up to me as a civilian, and he goes, hey, you gotta move, you're trespassing on airport property, and I'm like, I'm just running radar, and I kept that as my quote-unquote argument, my point, like, I'm just running radar behind a sign, I'm not on the airstrip, I'm not in the hangar, I'm not on the helipad, I'm next to the sign. I'm not blocking the sign. The way it's angled, you can still see it if you're coming from the north side or the south side. So he left the game and went into Discord, made a boundary map. Here, I'm going to move my mic, I'm sorry. I've got to get comfortable, but he made a boundary map of the airfield property and said if you're an LEO, a civilian, or anything, you are not to cross these lines. Even if there's a pursuit going on and the civilian goes across that line, you had to call it off. And I was like, I made it sound more mature than it was. It was honestly fucking ridiculous. I wish I would have got a screenshot of it so I could quote it, but I didn't. But it was immature the way he went about it. Like, every other word was capitalized, and he was clearly doing it to spite law enforcement. Just mainly me. I don't want to be conceited or anything, but it was straight up directed at me, whether it was intentional or unintentional, whatever. But so that was a big problem. That guy, he had just gotten admin, which, I mean, made sense, I guess. He was newer to the server, though. But like I said, he was too immature, like over emotional about everything. And at one point had his admin menu taken away just because he felt like kicking everybody that would do the smallest fail RP, which I'll get onto someone else who would also do that. So he was given the full admin role a few days ago. Okay, that's fine with me, or it was. And then once he got that, it was kind of crack down on all the rules. Fucking, oh, I'm an admin, blah blah blah, showboating his fucking balls and shit, you know. And the owner of the server, too lenient on the rules, like I said, but all of a sudden he had a bad day, and he said the smallest fail RP and you're out of the server. If you have a problem with that, leave the server, i.e. the community, like as a whole. Like, do not get on the server, you'll be banned, you'll be kicked, etc., etc. And which led to a few people saying, you know what, this is turning into a fucking shit show, we're out. Which is kind of fucking hilarious, because they thought that was going to keep members, but because we were quote-unquote bleeding of members, i.e. losing them, i.e. we only lost 2 in like the span of 2 weeks, and most of the members in the community anyway don't even get on anymore, because like I said, most of them don't have the IP, even though it's in the Discord. It's unlisted thanks to some legal issues with another, between 5M and someone else. Your server is pretty much unlisted if you're not hosted by a specific company, but yeah, that's another problem. Anyway, so some people left because the server owner just became an asshole because he had a bad day, which, I mean, I understand. We all have bad days. You get an attitude, you get a little cranky, that's cool. But you don't go from being too lenient to a fucking dictator the next second. Like, it's immature, it's unprofessional, and it makes everything and the server look bad. Like, you claim being, okay, the fire department's rolling out in my town and sirens just distracted me, but that might actually be the police. I can't, hold on, take my headset off. That's the police, okay. Anyway, sorry, got distracted. I kind of obsessed with the first responders in my town and their sirens and their vehicles. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. The fourth reason was that the disrespect was high, like ridiculously high, like i.e. someone who had left the server multiple times, been kicked, been banned, let back in for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't have any hard feelings for this guy, but well, now I do, after I learned what he said when I left. Because in my farewell message I said no hard feelings, man. I just, because he claimed I was power hungry because I was the head of 2 departments but not an admin, which I could give 2 fucks about, honestly. Like, who cares if you're an admin? Boo-hoo, you can kick or ban someone. Alright, I just wanted a better community and more legit RP. I wanted to entertain, I wanted to record so I can entertain my friends and anyone who may watch these videos. But whenever you're as immature and as bad at fail RPing as that community was, you can't really get episodes out. So I was trying to crack down on the fail RP, saying, hey, come on, they could be different. I would record, I would report any fail RP. Ooh, I'm a snitch, fucking big deal, who cares, it's a game. But I was called power hungry, which is pretty fucking ironic, because the guy who got admin immediately went from, oh no dude, these admins are going behind everybody's backs and telling everybody they can only be in 1 department, which makes sense. You're in real life, you're going to be in, I mean, you could sure be voluntary fire and a police officer, or firefighter, citizen patrol, but like, you're not going to be highway patrol and a police officer at the same time. It's just not going to fucking happen. So once he got admin, though, he was lying behind everybody's backs about one of the admins. That admin left because he was just done with the community, and quite frankly, I was too. But I kind of stuck around to see what would happen, and well, it was just shit. I would not recommend Blaine County DPS to anybody. If you want to have a good time and just play a video game, have fun, just role play, you know, be a civ, be a cop, whatever, it's not the server to go to. The higher ups are immature. They do the opposite of what they claim to do. They go behind people's backs, and it's ridiculous. Disrespect. You're gonna get told to kill yourself, which I could care less. If I got told to kill myself, I say I'll kill myself, my damn self, every day, every other fucking sentence. But they don't follow the rules, even as higher ups, and when they do, it's too strict and too far. For the smallest thing, you'll get banned, blah blah blah. It's immature. Don't go to the community, or do if you want to have a bad time. If you're a troll, well, find their IP and go for it, buddy. Please. Anyway, peace, guys. I will say, guess there's a community that I am going to. It only has about 9 or 10 members, but it's the most legit people that were from BCDPS, and well, you're gonna love it, I promise ya. We'll get it up and running within a week. Peace. Y'all have fun. Have a good weekend. I'm out this bitch.